wanted to take this opportunity to introduce, and I hope I don't butcher your name.
No, it's fine. Just call me Valentina. Simply, it's like Cher, just Valentina.
Valentina Escobar Gonzalez. So thank you so much for coming. And also, when you get a chance, please sign in to our sheets. And we've got surveys we'd like for each of you to fill out so we can better serve you on upcoming events and upcoming workshops, okay? Thank you again for coming.
I plan to knock your socks off. This is going to be great, wonderful. I'm so excited, and I'm already all sugared up with those cupcakes that I just tried. I'm only going to say is that I am going to be sitting down most of the time. I fell 2 days ago. I guess the lawn needs to be mowed already. There was a pothole, and my ankle's really swollen. So I'm standing now just to say hi, but I'm going to sit down. And I wanted to get started and tell you a little bit about myself. I just moved here 3 years ago from Florida, hence that's why I picked the Key Lime Pie cupcake. And within a year, I took my business to the next level. I finished my MBA when I moved to the area, and I said to myself, I need to create a business that promotes social media. Because if you have a business, you have to be on Facebook, you have to be on Twitter, depending on what you're catering to. So I did that. I started my business, and I said to myself, I'm going to cater to the small business, individual, and nonprofits, and that's what I've been doing. And within a year of moving to the area, I won the 40 Under 40, which is a Young Professionals Award, and it took a lot of work, did a lot of consistent work. I was very trustworthy, and I did a lot of work with nonprofits to get those testimonials boosted. So let me get started with the presentation. And can you see everything clearly? So what I do, I am a social media consultant. I build Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, even Instagram. I set it up for some individuals. I consult with businesses. So let's say you're on Facebook, but you want to take it to the next level. I help you, give you the right tools and strategies to get that started. I also do the social media for some of my clients. Some of them are like, Valentina, I have bigger fish to fry. I don't have time for this. Just give me the passwords, and I do it for them. And then I do confidential classes. There's a lot of young professionals that are like, Valentina, I'm a dinosaur. I need to get on Facebook. I need to learn how to do LinkedIn. I don't want to stay in this job forever, so I need you to teach me all the latest stuff so I can keep this job and hopefully get another job and say I have some social media background. And then I do lessons for individuals. So let's say my church just signed me up to do the Facebook and help, please. I don't know what to do with Facebook. So a lot of people are forced to do social media because of the association or club or church they're in. So I do that. And then one thing that they don't know that I do for them when they sign up to work with me is I'm very diligent. If you're doing something wrong, I will bug you and make sure you're doing it right. Because my reputation is very important to me. I say I have a funny face and a funny name in this neck of the woods, so I have to be very consistent and make sure that my job is done well, because I know my reputation is all I have. So before I get started, I would love to know a little bit about you guys. I had some questions posted on the whiteboard behind you. If we can just say your name, the business that you're with, what is your current social media platform, and what is your biggest challenge? Why are you here? So let's get started with this lady right here.
Karen Thomas Hutchinson. I'm with Ralph's TV Furniture and Appliances out of Greenville, Virginia. Primarily we focus on Facebook, looking to grow a little bit into the other avenues. Biggest challenge is getting enough likes, getting enough notice with our posts.
Okay. All right.
My name is Sharon Stevens. I work at Countryside Realty here in Abingdon. We not only deal with buying and selling of houses, but also rentals and horse shows. And I need to get up on speed on this more because my husband has to run for supervisor again this fall. So I need to kind of help him get some of that on.
Okay. All right.
My name is Deborah McCroskey. I'm with the Bristol Herald Courier, and we use pretty much every platform. And we help to sponsor the program, and I'm here to learn as much as I can.
Good.
I'm Tim Flanagan, video guy. Most of you know me. I specialize in video marketing. I use all the platforms like Valentina said, if you're not on any kind of social media, you're giving business away. I started doing some live streaming, that has really, really taken off for me. So if you have any kind of events that you want live streaming to open up to a larger audience, I'd be glad to talk to you.
My name's Catherine Hayden. I own Sweetworks. I make custom cakes and cupcakes. Right now I'm just using Facebook, so I just want to learn how to get more likes. And I want to learn more about like Twitter and Instagram and stuff.
Okay.
My name is Natasha Snyder. I'm with People Incorporated. I have my LinkedIn and my Facebook are both pretty much job things, and then I have like more personal things with Instagram and things like that I use with my family and my friends. I guess my biggest challenge will be the same thing that a lot of people have, the biggest challenge, remembering that my personal life is not part of it's not what my Facebook is now that I'm a big girl. And then I would love to know how to use LinkedIn really.
Okay.
I'm Jan Coleman. I work for People Incorporated as well. And I use Facebook personally, and I have a small jewelry business. I sell Premier Jewelry, so I use that to promote my jewelry. But I would really like to learn about LinkedIn and anything else. I really don't use my Facebook the way I should, so I'd like to learn all of them.
Okay.
I'm Dave McLeish. I own Dreamland Alpacas in Meadowview. Currently using Facebook primarily. Do have a LinkedIn, but don't really understand that one. And looking to increase the likes.
Okay.
My name is Audrey Wells, and I'm with the county's Economic Development Department. And I'm kind of here to learn more about the social media channels. We're looking to hopefully be able to set up a website and use the social media to connect to our businesses and get feedback and stuff like that.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Mike Bowley. My wife and I own a new startup called Adventure Mendota. It's a river outfitting business out of Mendota, Virginia. And I'm here to learn anything I can about this. My wife she's hopefully streaming in on this right now, and she's trying to use all the right vehicles to do it.
Okay.
And there's so many. You got to pick the right ones, because you can spin your wheels, from what I could see, doing sites or doing activities that'll give you very little return. So I'm trying to figure out what's the arsenal that's the best one for us.
Yeah, and before we move on to the other person, if you're not the decision maker, I have enough statistics and tips that you can go back to your boss today and say, hey, we need to refocus on social media if you want to see a return on investment. So I do have a lot of stuff that I'm going to share with you about that. Is there anything else?
No, I was just going to say, what if your boss says, mind your own business? Okay. Hopefully she's listening.
I'm Jared Christian. I work for Drivers Training Incorporated. I'm actually the tech advisor. I'm more of a support for our social media advisor right here.
Okay.
She'll introduce herself in just a second. And as far as we use just about all social media cues, there's a couple we don't due to our particular businesses. So.
Okay.
My name's Sarah Burgess. I'm the social media director for Driver Training Incorporated. We focus mainly around Facebook. There's several pages we have for that, and I guess our biggest challenge is trying to receive more, not more likes per se, but more interaction with people.
Bingo. That's the whole purpose. I'm sorry to interrupt. Everyone talks about likes. We want to get more likes because it makes us feel better. Because our boss, our board of director, or what have you, measures our results based on likes. It's not about the amount of likes. It's that person or 2 people or 5 people that are really big into your brand. They're going to be advocates. And that's the most important thing, and that's why this presentation is called engagement marketing, because it's about engaging with your audiences. But sorry, keep going.
That's it, that's all.
Yeah. And so the biggest obstacle was?
I'm trying to maintain that audience.
Okay. And then someone came a bit late, yes?
I did. Hi, my name is Celeste Stefanou. I own a new business. I am a SWAM micro reseller to the state.
Okay.
So this is kind of interesting for me because I'm not sure if social media is the way to go for my business, but I'm open for that.
And specifically, what does the business do?
I sell products to the state of Virginia.
Okay.
So they're not, it's not really consumers. So
Yeah.
individual contributors can call and order, or the state can put out a quote or bid request for.
But how would they find you if they're searching for, and what type of widgets do you sell or products?
Anything they want.
Oh, wow.
I'm really a broker.
Okay.
So, how do they find me? I'm on their eBus site, their electronic Virginia site. So that's how they would find me. But I think it's also helpful, the more I get to know the people within the organizations, and they become aware of my services. So, but I'm not sure how that works.
Perfect.
You may have much to teach.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna try to squeeze it in within an hour so I can have questions for everyone to follow up with. So why invest in social media? Every time I write a proposal, I put these 3 statistics, and please take time to read it. And I don't know if the live stream people can read that. Do you think they can read that? Now I'll
They
read it out loud.
They should be able to, but you can go ahead and read
Okay.
it.
The most important one, I think, is approximately 46% of online users count on social media when making a purchase decision. 46%. So that's huge. And then 25% expect a response on Facebook or Twitter within an hour if they complain. That's pretty big. So you should definitely write this down if you're reporting to your boss or someone higher than you. And then this video, I love this video, hopefully it works, because it did work a minute ago. And this video basically breaks down everything about social media, the statistics of why people invest in that and that sort of thing. I know it's a long video, but I feel like it's very important to see that and understand.
I have a question.
Yes.
The screen didn't say up long enough for me to read 3 C's.
Content curation, forgot what the other one was, connecting, and I have to look at the video. The video is right here, you can Google it and watch it later.
Okay.
That's why I put the link to it. But and that was last year, that was last spring that this video was posted. Can you imagine how much more the statistics have changed and all the newer technologies? So this is almost a year old, this video.
Well, there was 2 of them I hadn't heard of before. One of them was Vine.
Vine, yes, that's a video-based social media platform.
So it's kind of like YouTube.
Yes, it's like YouTube, and you can do it also on Instagram, where you can post videos as well.
Oh, so
Yeah.
they're really short.
Yes, yes. Like I said, it's the attention span of a flea, or like a goldfish. So, the purpose of that video, like I said, was to show you that it's really important to invest in social media. When I first meet with clients for the first time, I say, what are your goals? Is it likes? What's the purpose of a like? So you can get more exposure to the audience, so you can meet new customers. What's the purpose? What is your goal for the social media? Is it just to impress your boss? And that's something that we want to work through. Short-term versus long-term, realistic, unrealistic expectations. So back to what we were discussing with her, social media, I call it engagement marketing. That's why my business is called Beyond Engagement. It's beyond reaching your audiences, beyond this conversation. What can we do to really engage with your customers? So what I do is, I always preach quick responses. Just like how people call you on the phone or email you and you have to get back to them very quickly, if not they lose interest and go to your competitor, you have to be fast. You have to respond quickly. You have to be consistent. If you're gonna post today, you better post, in the next couple of days. You can't just start social media and then drop it. You have to have a plan. Did someone have a question? Okay. The whole purpose of doing social media and all of stuff that I'm going to teach you is to do extensive research so you can have content. One of the biggest struggles, and I'm surprised no one said it, was content-wise. I don't know what to post. I'm running out of ideas. What do I do? So based on what I'm going to show you today, you're going to have some research and some content to come up with some ideas. And finally, social media and engagement marketing is about an open conversation with customers. You're getting to that one-on-one. Back in the 90s, you would just do a print ad somewhere and then hope that people would come in. Now you have to engage with them. You have to have this one-on-one conversation. So I don't know how advanced we're going to go with this crowd. I'm going to go slow and then I'm going to pick up the pace very quickly. So in every lesson that I have, I talk about the Facebook basics. Have a plan. Who, what, when, where, and why. What are we going to do? What are we going to promote? Why are we doing this? When are we going to start doing this? Set up a business page. So most people have a business page on Facebook. The next thing, the About section. When was the last time you updated the About section on your Facebook page? Have you moved to another location? Do you have a new product or service? You'll be surprised how many people set up their Facebook business page, and then 2 years later, they've yet to update what's going on. Every year something happens. Whether you have a new employee, new product, new service, new awards, new location, new phone number. Add pictures and albums. A lot of people set up their Facebook page, and they don't have any visuals, but they just set up the most basic thing. You have to have your ducks in a row. You have to have a brochure, an online catalog, something to show people before you have people like the page. And you can use visuals. I'm not very good with Photoshop, so I use PicMonkey.com and I have it up there. It's free. And you can, yes, I see you liking it. I know you like it too. I use it a lot, and you can make like the Facebook cover photo, that collage. They have the right dimensions, so you can put the pictures and make them look very nice. One thing that a lot of people don't do is, for example, you have your business page, you should start liking other businesses as your business page. So, for example, if you are a corporation or a nonprofit, you should start liking the local media. And over there in Johnson City is WJHO, WTPT, all these W stuff. Sponsors, who are your big sponsors? So if they have a big announcement, you want to promote them and say, oh, look, our big sponsor just, I don't know, gave us a big grant or something, or your headquarters, yes?
Okay, now can't that become overloaded?
No, because the thing is that you're liking and commenting as the business. So let's say I'm a nonprofit and a big corporation just announced something, or they just gave us a check. You want to thank them as the business on their Facebook. If you understand what I'm saying.
Oh, so you can post to their site?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And a lot of people don't do that. That's part of the engagement. So you switch over as the business and you look at the news feed as your business or nonprofit, and you can see all the updates from the channels or the media or your sponsors, and you can have that conversation with them. So if they ever feel like they need to donate again, they'll be like, you know what, X, Y, and Z is always commenting or engaging with us. Maybe we should write them a check.
Now I have a next question.
Yes.
What's the difference between like and follow?
Okay, so these likes are the people that follow your brand. They sign up to be your customers, I mean,
Okay.
your fans. Yes.
Well, what does follows do?
It's the same thing. It's the same thing when it comes to likes. They're your followers. They're opting in to see your updates on Facebook.
Okay.
So now I'm gonna go fast. Now this is when I jump in. This is probably where I'm at with the same level here. So when it comes to what type of content am I gonna write? Who am I gonna cater to? We use the graphic search, and I'm gonna show you in the next couple of slides what is a graphic search. And we can create visuals based on these results, and you'll see. And other things you can do with Facebook is tag others, like and comment very quickly. And then finally, we're gonna reach paid ads. I don't know if you know this, but this is very serious. Only 6% of your likes or less see your updates. Let me repeat that again. And you know this. This is sad. I think it's gone down to 1%.
Yeah.
So how do you get people to see your updates? You have hundreds of followers and they're not seeing it. You have to pay Facebook. It is a public traded company for that reason. They're trying to make money. You can imagine everyone's posting stuff constantly. Oh, I got a new dog, I got my haircut, my kid this, my kid that, I just got this. Facebook is overloaded with people posting stuff. So they want to make sure that your stuff is getting prominence on the news feed. Because like I said, people have the attention span of a flea. So what are they doing? They're just, going through it very quickly. So that's why you have to pay Facebook with boosted likes and, boost or promote the status update. There's a little button that says, you want to reach more people? Press boost, and you'll make sure we get more people. Well, guess what? That just goes it's not very targeted. I'm going to show you a tool that's by Facebook called Power Editor, and not that many people are familiar with that. And you can go so targeted with the type of audience that you want to cater to. So if you're catering the cupcake lady, that's right there in the back, because I don't know if they can't see you. If you want to reach stay-at-home moms or moms that have corporate careers that work for, what's the big employer here in this area? The coal mine people, whatever that. Yeah, so you want to reach alpha people that work in marketing, that are corporate professionals, that drive a BMW, and that have kids between the ages of 8 and 13. Power Editor. Write that down. Power Editor. That's why it's in orange. And it's a free tool from Facebook, but obviously you have to pay Facebook to show up on these ads. Okay, another statistic, another long one. If you don't mind reading, this is going to really shock you. So.
What's organic reach? What does that mean?
So that's when you don't pay Facebook, that it just shows up naturally on someone's newsfeed. So basically, here you are thinking pictures is the way to go. Guess what? It's videos now. You see, it's like, this Facebook thing is like being on a treadmill constantly. So there you go, you have to start thinking, okay, first I thought it was pictures, now maybe we should do a really quick video. Maybe a 10-second video of how I make a cupcake. You know, the 2 eggs, the flour, the batter, and then you put it in the oven, and then it comes out, and then you put the little thing, frosting with the little sprinkles on top, type of thing.
We would like to know about your cupcake.
Yeah. You're getting like
Make
a
that
boost
video
today.
for us.
So, back to what I was telling you about, this is called the graph search. So everyone has seen this on their Facebook. You know how you go on the top there, you say, and you heard about a business, so you look them up. And I actually have a side note here. My friend, she's a millennial. You know, millennials are individuals that are born in 1980 till 2000, I think. So it's anyone that's under 30 or around 30 and younger to 18. She needed an acupuncturist. She lives in Kingsport. And she typed in acupuncturist, and she found one in Johnson City. So she drove half an hour just to see an acupuncturist because she was the only acupuncturist in the area that had a Facebook page at the time. So our demographic, them, me, a couple of folks in here, they are not looking on Google anymore. They're searching on Facebook for stuff. So this acupuncturist was the only person in the area that had a Facebook page. And guess what? She got the business out of the 2 others that are in Kingsport, where the girl lives. So the graphic search. You can find out so much about your business and your audiences just by typing this. I chose the Barter Theater because they're local and you guys know who they are. I typed in interest liked by people who like Barter Theater. So you can create a campaign or a Facebook picture or post catering to people that have these interests. Photography, movies, cuddling. Hey, this is what I found, okay? Hiking, God. So it enables yourselves to learn more about content for such people. So when I say buyer personas, I talk about people. So for example, if you're in real estate, you're catering to first-time home buyers, people that are not from the area, retirees. Based on what you just saw in the previous slide, you can cater to those different audiences. I normally say have 3. So you want to cater your Facebook posts based on those results that you saw there. So let's say one of the results was first-time home buyers, and they like to hike, and you're wanting promoting that house in the woods or in the cabin house. Catering it to that individual audience and being very targeted. So back to the buyer personas, these are these people that these fictional individuals that you're reaching out to.
Well, now, when you're speaking about this, and your clientele is very diverse, both by income, education, and whether or not they'll be relocated.
Yes.
Do you put posts that cater to each one of those in the same Facebook?
Yeah. Yes, I would cater, for example, I would say I'm first-time home buyers, the young couple that's in their mid-20s with 1 kid possibly. You can do a post, and then on the Power Editor, there's a button that says reach only renters. And there's a button that you can reach only renters that are ages so-and-so and so-and-so that have 1 kid. So that's why I really want to spend time with that tool that's coming up in the next slide. But based on this information you saw in the graph search, you can create these buyer personas and then create Facebook posts that are paid so you reach more individuals.
Oh, okay.
So that's my next slide. This is when we get super advanced. So we started off walking, now we're running and sprinting. Power Editor. Like I said, Facebook reach now is about 6% or less. So if you have 100 fans or likes or followers, whatever you want to call them, only 6% of them see your updates organically, naturally. That's sad. That's very sad. So that's why we have the Facebook Power Editor. Hopefully you can see that. When we start a campaign, there's 3 things that we want to promote. We want people to like your page, so we have more exposure, more audiences. We want people to engage with it. And then we have a call to action, a CTA. So the first thing here You see, clicks to website. Do we want people to go to your website? Do we want people to engage with your stuff? Do we want people to like your page or go to the event that you have promoted? You know when you're on your Facebook and it says, Susie likes Target, maybe you should like Target? And you don't like Target, but it shows up on your news feed, these sort of things, that's what it is. And then if you look at the bottom, it says sponsored. They're paying Facebook based on your results and your interests and your likes and all the stuff that you say you do on Facebook. They record everything. They do that, and then you can create these ads catered to those individuals. So if you know that your competitor is XYZ Cupcake, you can make sure you can create an ad that caters to people that like your competitors. So my first thing that I preach is have it like your page so you get more exposure. Then we have a campaign, so you spend $5, $10, $15, $20 to engage. So it shows up on my news feed that you like and commented on some other person's page. Even though I don't like that other person's page, that other business, is showing up because you said you liked it or something. And then finally, you got them to like your page. You got them to engage. Finally, your call to action. And there's a little button you see on your news feed that says, learn more, book now. There's those call to actions. So once they like your page and they think that you're funny, you have a funny picture of what you're doing behind the scenes today at your job or something, then there's the call to action. Visit our website, sign up for this thing, book now. So that's the next thing. So remember what I was telling you about, and I'm using you as an example because I had a key lime cupcake. And that's, people that are watching me that know me know that I have a thing for sweets. You can really go targeted. So if you're reaching out to a specific audience, the lady that does real estate, she's reaching out to that first-time home buyer. There is a button here, and it says purchase behavior, demographics. That demographic says, is this person a first-time or a renter? There's a button that you can make sure that only people that rent are catering to that ad. Or if you want to reach corporate professionals, you list all the employers or companies, so Alpha, whatever. Who else is a big thing? The hospitals. Yes.
So how does Facebook know that that person's a renter?
Because people post it.
So they're searching through the text that they posted that they.
Yes, they collect everything. Like all the likes. Yes, they know. They base it on the likes. So people are, you know how it says, I like Tropicana oranges. I like this girl's cupcakes. I like this girl's real estate. Those cookies that you're eating, they like, people are always saying that they like these pages, and they collect all that stuff. Yes?
So they're basing it on that.
I've also noticed if you search like Amazon for something,
yes.
all of a sudden, whatever you were searching is showing up in your
yes,
Facebook.
That's another thing too. So basically everything, all the stuff that you guys are putting in is showing up there. But you can, like I said, you can get so targeted.
I like alpacas.
It's scary. Let's say one of my clients was a soccer club. They're like, we need more registrations for the soccer team. And guess what? I created a campaign to reach people that are corporate professionals that work at the biggest employers in the area that have kids between ages whatever we were trying to reach. And that was going to that specific audience, and we got a couple of people based on that ad. So when you do Power Editor, it's going to say, oh, do you want to do desktop ads, or do you want to do mobile ads, or do you want the ads that show up on the right side? I always click the mobile because no one's on their desktop, supposedly, on Facebook during the day when they're at work, because most employers have Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn blocked off. So keep that in mind that you want to check the little box that says mobile ads. Okay, I am going to take a 5-minute rest so we can use the restroom, because now I'm going to talk about Twitter. And I'm going to go even faster because I know some people have to leave by 1. So I want to take a 5-minute break because I know I go fast. Is that bad or good? Okay. All right. 5-minute break so you guys can walk around, because I'm going to go fast now with Twitter. Okay.
got a new director of economic development. Lee Tom is her name, and I work for the county, Like, so we, Sharon Marshall, yeah, she's the plan, comprehensive plan and stuff like that.
I know there's a drop-down box and
Mhm. We're the ones working with our, working to attract businesses to the area, working with our existing businesses if they have, maybe some plans to expand, branching out into different areas. And then we also, we don't specifically so much work with our smaller businesses, but we do kind of partnership here with incubators.
saw my Q&A videos with the really dirty ones. Okay, well, like, okay, my reach is only like 300, and that's the fashion picture that I post, I got like 700 pictures. So I don't know. Yeah, that's true.
I think it's, I'm just telling you my
I guess
opinion.
I'm assuming all those videos taken and
We got
posted
a
that
lot
was the drive.
no doubt. Okay.
Our or I'm just on the jobs, just reporting around the
The challenge. Love the challenge. All good guys. They're all
I'm not the one that makes the budget.
No, but he's got a business, I look at it, I think it's one of a kind. You won't
Do we have any questions in the meantime? And if you have to leave early, I have my contact information back there and then in the business card. And if you have any questions that you're too shy to ask or you didn't think about it, I will be glad to answer it. The best way to reach me is by email, just so you know. I know you have to leave.
I do have to leave in about 5 minutes.
Yes.
But, just a question, like, about social media, like, if you had to pick one, what would be?
It depends on what so your thing,
Yeah.
I would go Facebook, Instagram, just on yours, your business. I would really invest in Instagram. Too bad it's like at the end of my presentation.
Okay, I'll go back and watch it.
Yes. Any other questions? I love questions.
So I have another question about
Yes.
Facebook. Like, if only say you have 100 likes and only 6 people see your post, like, why is that?
Like I said, Facebook is bombarded with a whole bunch of people posting stuff, so like,
Yeah.
who are we gonna pay priority to? So if you have a really cool looking cupcake,
Yeah.
and it's a nice picture and it's very viral, people are liking it and commenting, then that's gonna get priority.
Okay.
But it's all about, like, everyone's posting so much, who do they put priority to? That's why you have to, pay them, and the reach is so low because of that.
What, you said something, and I can't figure out exactly what she did, but Eva got on, she saw what you were making and then posted something. Was that on your site or her site?
She shared my page on your site, the Metro Mendoza site.
Does that help her significantly?
Yeah, because
Is that what you were talking about,
That's
helping?
another thing you can do, is share. So let's say I share her cupcakes, and I live in the Tri-Cities. That's a huge exposure to the Tri-Cities area. Because I know someone that does cakes in Bristol, and she gets hired all over the area, even outside the Tri-Cities, because her cakes are like crazy. And if you share that photo, she asks people to share those photos, and that gets more exposure, and she gets more clients that way.
So we're helping her business.
Yes, by sharing her picture.
So I need you to make some cupcakes that look like kayaks.
How about the two?
Is
Or
everyone
tubes.
back? Is everyone back? I think everyone's back.
I
Okay.
like the tube idea.
Twitter. We're gonna jump through Twitter because I wanna finish up by 1. Twitter. I think I would have not been where I am right now. Remember, I just moved here from Florida. I didn't know anyone. I don't have no family. My husband got a job with Eastman. I had just finished my MBA and I want to, make use of it. Twitter saved my life. Twitter is my best friend. I am so thankful for Twitter. Within a month, I knew all the movers and shakers, before even moving to Tennessee. I connected with these women. I was looking for a mentor guidance. So I went to Twitter, I searched marketing, I did all this stuff, and I found these amazing women. One of them is really a close mentor of mine and actually featured me in one of her books that just came out, which is at the end of the presentation, unfortunately. Twitter advanced search is your best friend. I can search so much about people based on what they're posting, just like on Facebook. But unlike Facebook, whatever you tweet does get seen. It doesn't get put to the bottom of the news feed. It's seen by everyone if you're on it at the same time. You can search by hashtags, keywords, location. What I normally do is if I get a new follower, I read the bio. And this is how I engage with people. I say, thanks for the follow. Oh, you work for the Barter Theater. Oh, I haven't been there in 2 years, but since before I had a kid. I would love to go back one day. I get nostalgia. First time I went to Barter Theater, I had culture shock because I was like, I am no longer in Miami. I'm in the middle of nowhere in Southwest Virginia. And I would go on, and they'll be like, oh, that's so sweet, and they would retweet or share that because that's a very nice anecdote. Another thing I do is tweet chat. So every 1 hour a week, people are in the fashion business or whatever industry that you're in, they have discussions, and they're called tweet chats, and they use a hashtag, whatever that is. And I'll talk about hashtags. And keywords are hashtags. You don't want to do too many of them on Twitter. You want to go crazy on Instagram. But on Twitter, maybe 2 or 3. That's why I'm pushing it. But still, it's keywords about your business. Cupcakes. If there's a specific cupcake that you make, like a moonshine one or whatever, the hashtag moonshine cupcakes. Like, it's the big things, those keywords, and people are looking for that. Let me see here. The purpose of doing this is to surprise and delight. So let's say I would say that to the Barter Theater, hey, I love you guys, I haven't been there since 2 years, since before I had a kid. It was the first time I had culture shock. You know, they might want to say, you know what, we want you to come back again. Here are 2 tickets to the matinee thing that we have this weekend. And I get that tweet, and they're like, go to the, what is that called, the call to or something office?
Will call.
Will call, yeah. And I would be like that. I received a box of chocolates from a lady that has her own national marketing podcast. Because I'm addicted to her podcast, and it's going on right now, and I can't listen to it. And she sent me a box of chocolates. It's every Wednesday from, it gets live at 11. And she sent me a box of chocolates because she's like, Valentina, you're such a big fan, outspoken fan. You're always promoting and retweeting and sharing our podcast episodes. That we're going to send you a box of chocolates. And that was nice. That was surprise and delight. I'm surprising and delighting that customer. So how do we do that? And this is when you have to leave. But unfortunately, this is the best slide I have on Twitter. And I'm going to use the Abingdon Farmers Market as an example. You go to twitter.com/search advance. And you go by keywords. So let's say your business is X, Y, and Z. And you can type in the location, Abingdon, Virginia, and you'll see anyone and everyone posting about your business based on those keywords. And what do? You engage with those people. So they're saying that I'm at your location, or I just had your cupcake, or I just took a selfie with your cupcake, or I did something with I bought a house and I took a sign saying that I just bought the house. You want to engage with that person. You want to retweet that. You want to favorite. Favorite is like a like on Twitter. Retweet is a share. And you do these things, and that's like a pat in the back. That excites someone. People like to be appreciated. You saw that the first statistic that I sent you. People expect a response from a complaint within an hour. So imagine when they're complimenting you, they want that, reciprocation immediately. So one of the examples that I'm going to use right now is the Abingdon Farmers Market. Let's see here. I wonder if you can see this. And you have to work with me because I am not good with this slide thing. All right, so I cannot do it at the same time as the presentation. But when you go to that link that I just sent you previously, twitter.com/search advanced, you can go by keywords. And I don't know how people do Abingdon Farmers Market. I don't know if it's apostrophe S, S apostrophe, or with the S at the end. But you can search by keywords. So if it's spelled together, if it's not spelled together, if it's, hashtag Abingdon Farmers Market, you can go so targeted and you can go by location. So within 15 miles, 25 miles, and then the spacing, like I said, if it's spelled all together, if it's separate, if it's abbreviated, people are posting about that. And it goes to their Instagram, to Twitter. So you're seeing all these people talking about your location or your business, and then you can start engaging with them. So like I said, a favorite is like a like, a retweet is a share equivalent on Facebook. You do these things, and then you can see what people are saying. You can target what people are talking about. If there's a complaint, you can address it. Even if it was 6 months ago, you can make things better. So,
I have a quick question.
Yes.
This is probably very elementary, but I still haven't gotten it, even though I know a lot about it. What is the hashtag?
the hashtag is like a keyword. So people are searching by keywords by the hashtag. So they go onto Twitter and they do hashtag music, hashtag real estate, hashtag
So when
Abingdon.
they do that, what happens?
It's like a search. It's just like on Facebook on the graphic search.
It's the same thing as a plus before in, like Google or.
Yeah, so it's like
whatever.
you're searching for things.
The plus means this only, this has to be in the search.
The number sign.
Yeah.
Yes.
So why do people post like in Facebook or whatever and they go hashtag and then?
They think that it works on Facebook, and it does, but it's not as effective as Twitter.
And it does searches for them, but it shows up on their timeline.
Yes.
Like that, I have friends who are like, I'm having a great time at the Barter Theater,
Yeah.
hashtag Barter Theater.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, why did you put hashtag Barter Theater?
You can actually see the results if you click on the hyperlink that leads to Barter Theater, hashtag Barter Theater, but
Right.
it doesn't mean as much as it would if it was on Twitter or Instagram. Yeah. And I said, I would like to show you once I finish the presentation what I mean by that on the actual website. But like I said, Twitter is such a complicated thing, but once you get it, it can really change things up. It puts you as an expert in the field. It's not like Facebook where you post once or twice a day. On Twitter, you can post maybe, 4 times a day, once an hour. And what you do is you exchange information. So if you have a really good article you want to promote, I like to post about business and social media, so I'm always promoting that, and I reach other people that are interested in knowing about social media for beginners or stuff like that. So it's a really good platform to engage with other people and other individuals like that over Facebook.
You will not run out of beginners.
Yeah. But a lot of people don't enjoy Facebook anymore, and you saw in the video that the fastest growing market is grandparents on Twitter. So it's no longer a kid thing for kids.
Yeah, I had an opinion, Twitter was for the millennium.
Yeah,
and that
millennials.
Millennials,
Yeah.
and that Facebook was still relevant to, so that's been revealing to hear that.
Yes, things change a lot. And now I'm going to throw another thing at you. Instagram. Read this and you're going to be shocked. Super shocked.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
What is Instagram?
Instagram is another social media platform. And you could do videos and pictures. And this is where you would go crazy with the hashtag. So let's say you are the Barter Theater. You're going to say Abingdon, Virginia, Barter Theater. And then depending on what it is, what play it is, you can put, there's a whole bunch of stuff. And that's why I want to do the next slide, but I see you guys writing stuff down still. So you go by location. Like I said, hashtag Abingdon, Virginia, hashtag, how do you, is there an abbreviation for Abingdon? AB something? See, whatever, like that, stuff like that. All the locations. Is Abingdon known for another name? Is it just Abingdon? So there you go. And then the emotion, they say that hashtag love is the most popular emotion. So if there's something that you really like I love her key lime cupcakes, hashtag love, hashtag cupcakes, hashtag key lime. You go crazy with the keywords or hashtags as you see here.
Okay, my next question is, in this area,
Yeah.
would there really be that much use for like an Instagram or Twitter? People are
Twitter.
just now just getting into Facebook.
You'll be surprised. You saw the video. That video is nationwide. It's a growth that's going on nationwide.
Yeah, but you know, if you're not going to be involved outside of this three-state area, or four-state area, is it worth your time to learn this too?
Yes, it just depends on what you're catering to, what industry you're catering to. Like, I would definitely say yes to the cupcake lady, yes to that. It depends, and your housing, a lot of my clients are in real estate, and they're doing a lot of Instagram, behind the scenes of the houses. Something that makes the house unique, like the fireplace. You know, that one thing that you kind of sell from that house that makes it stand out. People are looking at that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So, the whole purpose, tying it all together, because like I said, I'm not from here. This was not easy, you know, trying to get to know the area and promoting a business when you're not from here, you don't know the culture, you don't know how to target individuals. All this social media has been wonderful for me personally. You see the little kid that his birthday's going on, and there's that cake. A lot of things had to happen for this little girl to get invited to this boy's birthday cake. And this is what I got this from one of my mentors. She had to have gone to the park with him, done homework together, gone to Bible study class, done all this stuff so that his mom invited her, or he invited her to that birthday party. And what does that mean social media-wise? I had to have followed you on Twitter, read your bio, and said, oh, you do real estate. Hey, I just moved to the area from Florida, and I'm looking for a house because I just had a kid, and I want to give my kid a place to settle some roots or something. I saw you on Twitter. You look like a really nice lady. And then I saw what you posted, that you were really passionate about the houses, and you really know your angle, and you cater to a specific audience. We got to know each other. I read your bio. I noticed that you went to, what's a good coffee shop here? You went to that coffee shop. You bought the pizza that I'm about to pick up after this presentation. And you like, and I'm relating to you. And that's what happened with a lot of people here. I moved here. I connected with all these individuals on Twitter and Facebook. I got to know them. They got to know me. And that led to business, opportunities, networking, book things, all these sort of things. So it's like a birthday party. You do all these sort of things on Facebook to get that customer. In the end of the day, it's like being invited to that birthday party. You got that sale. You have to do all these little things like Facebook and posting pictures and videos and LinkedIn and Twitter and Instagram. So you build that rapport. Because what's going to separate you from everyone else is doing the same thing as you. From what I heard, there's like 3,000 Asians in the Tri-Cities that do real estate. What's going to separate you from those 3,000 people? What's going to separate you from the other government contractors that are trying to buy stuff? What's going to separate you from the other publications? What's going to separate you from the other consultants that do videos? I forgot what you do. Oh yeah, the People Incorporated. I don't know what that is. What is that specifically?
We are a community action agency. We do lots of stuff.
Okay.
But the main thing I do is set up and execute trainings to help entrepreneurs get into business.
There you go. So we need more people like you in this area. And a lot of people are starting a business and they need someone's hand to be held. They need to know more about you and your services. The alpaca farm, what do you do specifically? There's a Packer Farm in Jonesboro. What separates you from that guy?
Just location.
Location,
Yeah.
but there's something else. Maybe I might drive an hour and 15 minutes to get share alpacas because they produce a better type of fur.
Well,
And you
the-
feed them better food, who knows, I don't know. And that's gonna make me wanna buy with you more.
Alpacas have whiter teeth.
This girl here, the county,
Mine are friendly.
I'm a new
You're friendly.
business that is looking to moving my headquarters to Abingdon or to the county. Why do I wanna choose you guys? What do you offer to me? What's the ROI? What's the return on investment? What is it in for me? And I can see that on your social media, how much you really care about getting new businesses. I forgot what he does. What do you do again?
Kayaks.
Kayaks. Enough said. There you
If I
go,
just
and
had
you guys
cupcakes.
too. There's so much you can offer people in that little glimpse, yes.
So I'm new transplant here as well, and culture shock. Anyways, one of the things, and I come from California,
Okay.
so one of the things that has been a big culture shock is how many businesses do not have a website presence here. Do you find that people are bypassing web presences and just going to social media, or
I think
is it
social
a
media
different-
I think that they should have a website and Facebook. Facebook is just an introduction to the conversation that leads into your website. That's where you sell people, is your website. But you seduce them, or you entice them, or you entertain them, or you inform them, or educate them through Facebook, but lead them to your website. Yeah, I highly suggest websites. Don't think that the website people are hating me. I like websites. They're very important.
Well, I thought so, but it just seems
Yes.
like, based on what I'm hearing from you, there's a lot more people using social media
Yes.
than I've certainly seen on web presence.
Yes, yes. Here are the sources. I can email you the sources, all these statistics and quotes and everything. And a lot of women in the audience here, I just was featured in this book. It's made by someone in the Tri-Cities, and they feature about 11 or 10 stories of local women and how they got ahead. And it just came out in print, I think it was this week, and then in the Kindle 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm talking about. So,
One of my video clients.
yeah, so I am featured in the book. That doesn't matter. Who cares? What matters is that you guys will take you get inspired by this book, and then there's a 20-day boot camp, 21-day boot camp, and you can, a lot of it includes social media. And men, don't think it's not just for women. You want to win points with your wife? Give her this book, because apparently they run the business too, right?
I was
There
gonna
you
say,
go.
you're not sending us six, we'll be outnumbered.
There you go. There you go.
Wait, can I ask you a question?
Yes, yes, Andrea Wilcox?
Thank you.
Yes.
I couldn't get really well.
Yes?
I hear bits and pieces of what you're talking about. I know the importance of this, I really do. It's just changing so fast that you turn your head and there's something new coming out. So here's my question,
Yes.
okay, for you. When you're a startup, it's all hands on deck. You don't have a lot of extra. Timeliness is important. I know that. But you can't be with an alpaca or out in the river and somebody's got a complaint, you respond, so you do it as quickly as you can. If you're fortunate enough to do it in the same day, probably pretty good for startups and that type of thing. Has anyone ever thought of this is really crazy, of a startup that, or a company that provides the services to support smaller businesses? In other words, you take on the social media.
You came in late, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yes, I do it for my clients. So a lot of them have better fish to fry. They have bigger things to worry about. And I do it for my clients. A lot of them don't have time, but some of them hire me to do it for an hour. And in 1 hour, a week, I can do it for them. It takes 5 seconds to post something. Oh, here's a picture of what we're doing behind the scenes. Or here's something that we're doing this week, or anything.
But they have to provide you content.
Yes,
correct?
and I do it, or I provide for them. I go to their location, I take pictures, and I say, this is what's going on this week. But if you have an hour, you can do it. An hour a week. There are tools called Hootsuite and TweetDeck, and I can email this to you. You can schedule your updates. So let's say you're going to be off Because you're a yacht business, so I'm assuming you're not always here because we're like landlocked here or something.
Well,
I think in Tennessee terms.
I had a misconception,
Okay,
but so let me explain it. Okay, my wife spends more than an hour a week, okay, and values this, she values what you're talking about greatly.
okay.
Okay, really seems to know her stuff. But you're talking about things that, you know, like Twitter, my grandkids use this. I call them when I go on advice about, should I use this one or this or that? And they seem to know exactly which one will get to them and
Yeah,
different age groups and things like that and how to communicate with them. But I had the opinion when you were talking about, wow, you have to really dedicate a lot more hours a week to be able to do this, okay? Up until your discussion, I was thinking YouTube was a very valuable tool. I
It
still
is.
think it probably is. But it sounds like there's some other ones now that you can do shorter videos that'll give you good return on investment, okay, from showing some people, you know, a fun activity in 6 seconds, okay, may get them to go over to your website and make a reservation out of this type of thing. So, but I had the opinion that massive amounts of time were gonna be needed to take over all of these different,
maybe an hour or two tops. You have like I said, there's these platforms, you can schedule updates on your Facebook, you can schedule stuff. So let's say this week, you're gonna be in Florida or something, selling to a boat show or something like that. You can schedule your updates and say, we are in Florida, and you're scheduling things ahead of time in the future. So let's say you're gonna be on vacation in 2 weeks or 2 weeks, you can schedule your posts ahead of time. So that's very important. The only thing is that you can't track when you're on vacation and you have no signal and you're in the middle of this ocean and there's no reception if someone's commenting or liking. That's the only thing about that you're scheduling things ahead of time, and if you're on vacation and there's no communication, you can't see what they're posting. Yes, I think there was a question.
Yeah, I had another question. Another company that I've been working with for the last year, we've been working on social media. And what I'm finding is the actual posts, the scheduling and all of that really doesn't take a long time. We're a technology company, and the challenge is that we literally have to schedule and make a plan where on Monday we're sending out the tweets, on Wednesday we're blogging, on Thursday we're taking these blogs and forwarding to, so we had to build out a whole social media schedule.
A calendar, yes.
How many times we tweeted in a day.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we did that whole scheduling, then we had to identify content. So we have to have blog posts done by a certain time, which for us, our IT people have to write that content, our marketing people have to review and edit that content and make it ready to go out.
Yes.
And all of that. And I think that that's where, you know, good God, you know, small companies don't have those kind of hours to spend making a marketing.
And that's why when I
coming
moved
up with
here,
all the content
I said to myself, there is a market.
for that, yes.
Because if you have a business, you have to be on Facebook. Like I told you about my friend that was looking for
So
an
does your
acupuncturist.
business do all of those?
Yes.
And how can you write content on a technical thing?
I
if you don't
research
know?
like crazy, like I showed you all these tools. I really spent hours researching. Like I knew who was coming to this presentation, so that's why I catered my slides to that audience. Yeah. And before I leave, I wanted to leave you with this statistic. I just heard this. This is gonna blow your mind. 93 million selfies, which is this picture I was presenting in Myrtle Beach for the advertising club in Myrtle Beach. 93 million selfies are taken daily.
wow.
That is my little-
So I want to take a selfie. So if you don't want to show up in the picture, do something like, I don't know, cover your face. I love this guy right here. This guy right here, he's like this. He looks so happy because he was a golfer. You know, golfers are naturally happy people. He was so funny. He was hilarious. He just fell back on his chair because he knew I was going to take the selfie. I love that guy. He was
So
hilarious.
can you give us an estimate on how much time, how much it costs to?
Yes,
how much
I can write a proposal for everyone. So if you email me, I can send you a proposal with everything that I do. So, yes. But I want to take the selfie now.
All right.
And I'm done. All right, so let's see. Well, you gotta get bunched together, you guys are so far
Or do you
back.
want a sponge?
You guys come over here.
Yes, you guys do once a day, every day.
Okay, so it's an engagement tool like Facebook.
You'll be surprised how many people, it's just like Instagram, it's one of those powerful engagement platforms. I post an update, I tag people, I'm always commenting, I participate in groups
We will.
occasionally.
Yeah, those get weird.
Yeah, they
I know
get
we do.
spammy and too much, but what I do with LinkedIn is that I see updates, I refresh it, and I'm always changing my LinkedIn. I'm always adding new things, like today I'm gonna say that I was here and I presented to this audience. Let me pull up my LinkedIn. And I don't understand why I have to move this thing.
Cut on the mirror imaging, you have a Mac.
Oh, there, can you show me where that is? Because I've done that in the past and I've blocked it. Thank God he's here. See, this is an embarrassing moment. Are we done stopping with that?
They have LinkedIn pages that's existed forever. All these people are on
I don't know, you haven't updated them on the little speed, right?
Oh, goodness.
it. Just
Yeah, because I really wanted to show you the Twitter thing that really helped me a lot. There it is. Yay!
Is that the one that's
Okay, I'll get close out of it. Thank you so much.
It-
All right, look. This is my LinkedIn profile.
Oh, the comprehensive plan? That's a.
They say that when you're on LinkedIn, and I know you guys are in the sales business, and like everything I do, it's all sales. No matter what you're doing, it's all about promoting your business. On the LinkedIn sort of thing, I have a very unique title. I know it's crazy, but it personalizes my business. So this is my title. So you thought I was a social media consultant, but now you know I'm obsessed with the Gators, which is a good thing in this side of the border. I'm a mom. I'm very caring and nurturing. I'm bilingual, which doesn't count too much in this neck of the woods, but I really try to help businesses, and I'm more than just a marketing consultant. See how I show up as more than what I am? So what I do is I always post updates. So see how your updates, you go to profile your updates, and I'm always posting pictures. Like yesterday I was at the Kingsport Chamber of Commerce. And like I said, the book that just came out last week, and I'm featured in it, and these two girls are featured in it. She's the author. And I'm getting likes, or I'm promoting this, and then people are sharing it. So those sort of things. And then I share stuff from Instagram, which is the book review. Because it's related to business. This book is a business book.
So LinkedIn acts like a Facebook that you
Yes.
can post on?
Yes. So when I go to my home, I spend maybe 10 minutes on LinkedIn daily. And I go here and I go to recent updates. And I update it and I see what people are saying. I comment, that sort of thing. So I do that, and they see they see the updates, and then I see who's looked at my profile. I'm always looking at who's seen the profile. Are you still recording this? Good. So like I said, it's very important to have that. It's like Facebook. You have to have that engaging thing going on. And I keep my profile. If you were to look me up later on at your leisure, I'm updating stuff. I'm adding links. This is super unique because first thing they see is your summary. And then on your summary, you have those links. And that makes you want to click on it, right? Those links there. And these are my favorite things, or things that I'm passionate about. It's not necessarily me, but things that I really care about. And then the awards and the experience and the endorsements, which I think is annoying, but you fill in as much information as you can, so people really get a sense of what you're about. Because there's a lot of people that do what you do, seriously. Think about it.
Is the content though geared more toward professional
Yes.
and not personal?
Yes.
And not business, just professional?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like I don't sales pitch. I just talk about things that are going on in my updates, or I'm promoting someone else. I love promoting other people. I love it. I love promoting other people.
Okay.
You can promote me.
Okay, let me show you very quickly the Twitter thing that I was talking to you about. So what I do is I go to twitter.com/search advanced. And I type in, and this is when I told you about the Abingdon's Farmers Market. Grammatically, is it S apostrophe S? S.
Just the S.
So there you go. But look, you can search by this exact phrase. So if I spell it wrong, or I spell it with the S, or spaced out, or spaced together, or abbreviated, we can do that. Watch. And then you do, whoops, Abingdon, Virginia, and then you go, oh, thank you so much. So here is like the search results. I'm seeing everyone that has posted something with the exact phrase, how I spelled it out, with spaces, and like how you said, without apostrophes at all, just the S. And look, this girl, she looks very influential. I don't know who she is.
Well,
But she
we both just discovered we both know her, so.
okay, there you go.
She does hand stamp jewelry at the market.
There you go. So she is posting about it. If I was the Abingdon Farmers Market, I would, the little star is it's like a like on Facebook, but on Twitter it's a favorite. Or I would retweet, which is like a share. Or I would reply back, which is like a comment, say, oh my goodness, Jennifer, I'm so glad that you tagged yourself into the farmer's market. We hope to see you when you open in April or May or whenever they open. So you do these things. The like or the favorite button is an appreciation. It's like a pat in the back saying, oh, I acknowledge that you posted or you tweeted about us. But you see all these people talking about it? And that is that I spelled it that way. If I put the apostrophe S, I would get even more results. And this is how you find people talking about you. Like, for example, yours is huge. You could have an endless amount of people that you would want to endorse or engage with. But this is like my best friend. Every time I meet with a client, I say, let's see what people have talked about you in the past. And they're like, oh my goodness, last October, someone said something to me, and I never thanked them for that. Well, guess what? We're going to thank them and like it and retweet it and whatever. And that makes a difference. You bring back that client that probably forgot about you or you never acknowledged. Okay, I have 10 minutes left. Any questions so far? Like, this is my most favorite thing. I am on Twitter all the time, and you're going to love this. You're going to live for this. This is what I'm on TweetDeck. Remember I was telling you about Hootsuite and TweetDeck? Well, with Twitter, I have rows. I'm constantly monitoring people. I have media. I have people that are doing marketing, and I have lists of people that I'm watching everything that they say when I'm not here presenting to people, obviously. Or I'm doing it as my client, so that 1 hour a week, I spend about 15 minutes every day monitoring what people are saying. So if I'm doing my client and I'm a nonprofit, I'm seeing what the newspapers and the media are saying and see if I want to engage with them in some sort of way so they can always think about me if they want to promote us in the next campaign, which is feeding the hungry or something. I'm always engaging with the media so they think about me in the next article if they have an opening for an article and they're looking for someone to fill an article or story. So what I do is I have women in business, so I'm always looking at Forbes and Business Insider and looking at articles that I might want to share with people like yourselves. Nothing too complicated, something that I can get done in 5 minutes because you guys don't have time, like I don't have time. And I'm watching what everyone that's in power in the Tri-Cities is posting. So all the media people, I'm seeing what they're posting. I'm reading every tweet. Because this is my business, so I have to be up to date about everything. So I had different columns, like I said, media, people of power, business, babies, since I just had a kid, it's going to be 2 years ago. So I'm always looking at stuff like this and interacting, engaging, entertaining with my audiences.
And where's the matrix that shows you who might be interested in some of those? How do you know that?
I add them personally. So if it's them, the media, I look at their Twitter and then I add them into the list called media folks. I create that list. And sometimes they don't know that I'm watching them. That's the best part. It's a secret list. I'm pretty sure this girl, she's familiar with it, right?
Sorry?
You guys have this, hopefully. So it's TweetDeck or Hootsuite, and I'm constantly watching stuff like that. I can schedule my updates right here.
Actually,
And you're able to do this and,
we actually can do, one of the things that the paper does for a lot of our customers or people who are interested in doing things is that we have the ability to go in and run a report on the
Yes.
business. If you have a website, or if you're just doing Facebook, hopefully you have a website. But it will actually go in and go to all the four companies which feed all the information to the search engines. And it will give you a report and it will
Wow.
score you and let you know, where you're showing up on the internet and if it's good or if it's bad and how many responses went unanswered in a
Wow.
certain amount of time. And a lot of times you're having people say things about you that you didn't even think about going to some of these sites, Yelp or some of these other sites. So this is a wonderful tool to make you aware. of
That's a
what's
great
going-
thing.
And that doesn't cost you anything if you're interested in having, we run that for you, I'll be glad to. But it just gives you a good idea on, if people are saying things about you and where they're saying it. And you need to start watching that.
That is very important. I do that with my clients. I Google them, and I say, you know what, there was a bad review about you. Have you checked their Google Plus page, which is the page by Google? One client that I'm seeing on Thursday, he has a martial arts facility, and he has the old address. And I'm like, you're not in that address anymore. You need to change it. And he hasn't changed it yet. I'm like, you need to change it now.
Yeah,
Because
that's-
I kept going to the wrong address, and I'm like, I kept getting lost. And just think how all the people you've lost business with, doesn't it keep you up at night?
We find some very large, well-known, recognizable companies that don't realize that they still have phone numbers that have not been in use for over a year that come up on the internet. Or addresses that they haven't used in years.
I was visiting an agency, and you type in the address, and it takes you to the old location. And on Facebook, it takes you to the old location. And I was using the Facebook GPS route. But on TweetDeck, you can schedule things ahead of time, see? So you go down here, and you can schedule things in the future. So if you're going to be on vacation, no one's going to know. Because you can schedule things. You can add an image to make it look pretty and everything. But this is where I spend all my time. I see a question. No question? Okay. I figured, because you have a really cool job. I figured there must be a question there, but that's it. That's basically it. I tried to cram in as much important information as I could on the relevant platforms, social media wise.
so your schedulers, do you have one, is there something like this on Facebook too?
Yes, I can do that with Hootsuite.
Hootsuite.
Hootsuite. I use that one, and I can schedule on all platforms.
So that way you always get fresh information getting out there, right?
Yes. TweetDeck I use more for Twitter. Like I said, I spend my bulk of my time on Twitter.
Valentina, I just got through texting Sandy, she's gonna put your slideshows up on SlideShare, that way,
Okay,
if anybody missed anything, it'll be up on SlideShare.
okay.
But one thing that goes along with this is the paper here is still strong. But all the papers everywhere have lost a little bit in terms of circulation. But our digital site, tricities.com or southwestvirginiatoday.com, is growing by leaps and bounds. We're getting on that over 2 million views a month in the past, and that's been since January of last year.
Wow.
And over 300,000 of those are unique views. But the reason that's important is that because the paper recognizes that things are changing a little bit. People still want their news, they still want the advertisements, because that is sort of like, they take it a little bit more seriously if they see it in the paper. But they're going more to the digital. And the paper recognizes that that's very, very important. It's very important for us, the social media, but it's also important for the clients that we're working with. So we always recommend that not only do you do it in print, but you need to do something in digital, and you need to have the whole social media aspect on it too. And that's the reason why we will run that report for you, just to let you know.
Yeah. It all ties in together. It all ties in. In the future, it's going to be like, how are we going to make that traditional ad tie into social media? That's going on right now.
It's all part of it. It's a huge part.
Like, we'll get your attention now. Like, visit us in social media to keep the conversation going. All right, well, is that it? Is there any more questions? I would love to answer any questions you might have privately. You can email me, you have my cards, I have it on the board there. And I had a blast, hopefully you guys learned something. I really enjoyed speaking with you all. Thank you.